Welcome everybody to another BitShares talk on the Beyond Bitcoin network. Today is Saturday, May 19th, 2018, and I'm Official Fuzzy. I'm pleased to join you guys every Saturday at this time to cover a crowdsourced agenda that is gathered from our RSVP thread on EOS Talk and BitSharesTalk.io at Official Fuzzy. If you would like to have your project covered, please make sure that you join up and go to post these RSVPs according to the template provided. With that said, we do have these weekly meetings so we can offer meetups without the geographical boundaries that normally get in the way of being able to easily discuss various topics that are of importance to us in a worldwide community. And to enable everybody to be able to join up and even stream this live to their own channels. So we use the world's first cross-chain tokens that we use to build Voltron by rewarding community members for helping with things like this and other kinds of community initiatives that help us get the word out. And we leverage this not to just advertise BitShares, but to try to teach people about BitShares and what it can do by leveraging the actual technology in front of their faces, giving them something tangible they can hold on to and that makes them want to reach in and discover more. This we feel is more effective than just telling people how amazing BitShares is, because we actually get them in the mood to actually try it out and use it themselves. And we believe that experience in and of itself will sell a lot more people than simply telling them. Now, with that said, we do have an agenda for today, as we do every week. It has been crowdsourced by the BitShares community and people who are part of it. So let's go ahead and start off with the Steam Power excerpt from the BitShares State of the Network report, and then I will get into the agenda for today. BitShares State of the Network report. Fox has announced the release of testnet 2.0.180510 this week. This new testnet version has a hard fork flag date coded for Saturday, 19 May 2018. That is today. This next is this week, within a single 24-hour period, BitShares mainnet broke its old record by processing 1.598 million transactions, which averages to roughly 18.5 transactions per second. And this is just another milestone for BitShares, I guess. Up next, a new version of the BitShares reference wallet has been released this week. BitShares UI version 2.0.180512 has been released this week as well. Next is going to be Stan Larimer and Michael X. Taggart have been working with Sean Worthington, the founder of CloudCoin, in relation to synergies between CloudCoin and BitShares blockchain. And finally, on the BitShares State of the Network report excerpt, is Michael X has published the definitive Quintric FAQ, the legal tender blockchain-based monetary system. So if you guys would like to find out any more about what's going on in a quick glance at something that is a weekly provided document that tries to keep up on the various initiatives and endeavors and updates in the BitShares ecosystem, the BitShares State of the Network report at Steam Power on BitSharesTalk.io, EOSTalk.io are the best places to go and see that. So please consider joining up, checking them out, and rewarding at Steam Power for all of his efforts. With that said, we're going to start off today with EasyDex at the top of the agenda. They're going to be giving some updates on the EasyDex platform itself. We're going to then follow that up with Jacob Cards of CloudCoin and Samist of Airhawk on the EasyDex platform is going to be joining up to talk about Airhawk Exchange. And then if we have any time remaining, we will be going over Talkinator's topics for the week, which is blockchain team now offering a BTC gateway on BitShares, the new witness proposal for Bangsy, and the new wallet version release. So with that said, let's go ahead and get to the agenda for today and start off with EasyDex. And I believe that will be represented by Walrus. Is that incorrect?
Yeah, hope he can speak because of the Discord issues.
Oh, is he having Discord issues?
Yeah, see, nobody actually hear him.
Yeah, Discord's been kind of acting a little bit buggy the past couple days. I noticed some, I've had some issues.
Maybe the next on the list can start after he have tried to fix the problem.
Of course. All right, sounds good. Well, let's go ahead and move on for right now to Jacob Cards of who's going to be talking about CloudCoin.
Hi, everyone hear me okay?
Perfectly, man.
So I was hoping to get Sean on the talk, just kind of help make the announcement. I'm not necessarily, just to clarify as well, just started talking with Sean and kind of learning about CloudCoin and seeing how, it's being put on the BitShares DEX. And I also, too, BitShares works for CloudCoin specifically. So those who aren't aware what CloudCoin is, it's not a blockchain. It's not a cryptocurrency per se. A public ledger. Basically, the concept of this digital currency that is put into files that cannot be counterfeited, and they can be transacted without an address or wallet, simply through email or even in person in exchanging of files. What this coin or this project proposes is complete anonymity in the sense that keep track of transactions between wallet to wallet. So unlike BitShares, for example, if we were to transact, people could see it publicly and possibly trace the user. Say that, basically what CloudCoin is doing for BitShares as well, it's acting like gold, right? So, for example, on BitShares, you can trade the Quint feature. And so basically, it's going to be a digital asset backed by another digital asset. So it's kind of another product offered on the BitShares DEX, all adding value to the BitShares DEX. And I think CloudCoin is actually, an interesting concept because those in cryptocurrency, when we think cryptocurrency, but really it's just digital data. And, CloudCoin, the ability to transact wealth and have it not be counterfeited, keeping track on a public ledger, it kind of makes you think of differently, and it makes you think of down type of money. For example, CloudCoin eliminating the ledger provides almost ultimate anonymity in those types of transactions. So I think there's room for it. That's about what I have to say. More or less, just an announcement to the community. I think CloudCoin is a very interesting concept. I'm hoping to get Sean on here to talk a little bit more about it and seeing how it's going to add value to the exchange.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting concept, and considering that it's not technically its own cryptocurrency, but it has some potential use cases, I would imagine, with the ability to send files like that. I don't know at the moment what exactly would be viable of the ideas that come to my head.
No, yeah. I mean, to me, it's one of those things where it's nothing's perfect, right? In the sense of digital money, in my opinion, because it is what it is, right? I think Cloudcoin, it's not going to be better than blockchain, and that's not what I'm getting at. But what I'm saying is it does provide. It's the use case, yeah, exactly. There's room for it, and I think too is one problem with cryptocurrencies. There's so much digital currency. There's so much cryptocurrency. Excuse me. A form of dilution, and people are constantly trading in between the ledgers and the blockchains. All of a sudden, it's just as printable as federal notes. So I think that Cloudcoin in itself is a rare type of digital currency, and because also it's not such an exchanged type thing, more maybe an in-person. It might be used more like money than we use cryptocurrency. Maybe cryptocurrency also is more software, specifically. It would be interesting also to see the different types of digital money that do arise.
Would this be like a utility token? Would we call it that?
Actually, I would think it would be more like a currency token, in the sense that because it's so more for economics, in the sense that there's nothing else like it. I think things are actually more for access, or like access keys to software. So with BitShares, for example, if you want to spin up your own token, you need to use the utility token to burn it. I think one thing though, with the anonymity of this specifically, I think creates a limited supply in the sense that, okay, you can have 100 different anonymity coins, right? Tokens or blockchains. You can constantly create more, or they fork off of each other. They're constantly diluting. For example, Monero has 100 forks on it. So it's constantly diluting, and then less and less. And I think again, it's all about the use case, right? So it's not that past these projects are as better than these things, but I think there's room for it in the sense that it's not a ledger, but it's still digital money, right?
Yeah, it utilizes the ledger, which kind of makes it money, though, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's a unit of account, rather. Is probably the best way of saying it. Go ahead.
I think that this would be more of a good use case is trading in person. Like if you're gonna go trade for someone on Craigslist and you have Cloudcoin, and then you hand them a hard drive. The reason that I don't think BitUSD, for example, is as sound in person as opposed to Cloudcoin is that they need to make a BitShares address to receive it, right? The difference with this is that, with software, yes, you need the software to get it on the receiving end. With something like this, you don't need to download. It's frictionless. And I understand that to us, it's easy to download software, to do all this, to transact, easy stuff, right? But the problem is with the average citizen and the average user is what they'll use.
So is there a plan of working with torrenting or anything like that, or is that not the actual use case?
It's an interesting concept, but I haven't really explored. I haven't explored too many ideas. I'm just out educating myself about this, and I just thought I'd present it to the community as something that's
something to look at.
Yeah.
Which I think is important for us to look at stuff and learn about it to the degree that we can. So I'm glad that you bring it up. I do have a lot of questions, and I wonder if there are answers to all of them. I'll have to dig into it a little bit more. But are they planning on being on BitShares directly?
Well, it's going to be sort of like how gold is listed on BitShares. Like you can trade BitGold. I think it's going to be along the same lines of it being backed by asset, because it's kind of like gold in the sense that it's not a coin, right? It's not a cryptocurrency.
So what's it supposed to back specifically? Like what price feed?
That's an interesting question. My knowledge of this is limited as well.
Sure, we'll have to dig into it. Maybe we can put a bounty on his head on Cloud Coin Creator's head to come here and answer a bunch of questions from nerds.
That's actually what I was trying to do. I was hoping to get Sean on here. I communicated with him a little bit, and he was said he was going to try to, and I think possibly by next week I'm going to show him the summary of what we talked about this week. I think he'll definitely be interested. So
sounds like a good deal. Well, well, Fav, it might be, it might not be. We'll see. I would like to reserve judgment on it to see, because I will say that the idea of torrenting and sharing files with one another in an encrypted fashion that might be a little bit easier for most folks is not necessarily a valueless service.
Well, I think
that's why
I think too, that's the big misconception, is that yes, you can be technologically savvy and you can know how to use a ledger and blockchain and all this stuff, but I've grown up around contractors my whole life and they don't know how to turn on their computer. So if we have a sound type of money, it doesn't cause them to lose all their money gambling on highly volatile cryptocurrencies. There's room for it. Because it's ignorant to say that cryptocurrency has gave everyone a positive experience. The love for money is the root of all evil, whether it's the blockchain. So what I'm getting at with that, though, is, it'll be interesting to see competitive digital assets.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm personally pretty blockchain biased, but if there's something that shows me that we have other potential options, I don't know why we would say no to it, or at least looking into it.
Is it's not so much whether blockchain isn't better or this or that. It's just a matter of, to me, blockchain is more of a software, utility tokens and accessing software. Where do I view it as this most sound type of money? I'm not. It's hard to say. I think we're still kind of figuring out as humans what this technology is used for.
Yeah, and I won't even get into the AI that will go along with it. But it is I think a use case that's interesting. I'll have to look more into it, and I'll have to learn more about it. Maybe we zerg him and bring him on to answer questions. That's what I would say. Does anybody?
By any means,
oh, go ahead.
By any means, I'm not saying anyone to buy this or speculate on it. I'm just
bringing it to us.
Bringing it, so yes, exactly.
It's something that you think is important for us to look at and discuss from your perspective, and you've brought it on here voluntarily, like we offer everybody the opportunity to do, but very few choose to do it. So I will say that there's a segment of the population who likes to do these types of things, and this is kind of what these hangouts are for, those people who are a little bit of oddballs and want to discuss these types of things, or maybe they want to and they just can't get to a local meetup. So these are the types of things I want you guys to bring. So I would appreciate. Now, is this going to be working with BitShares though? It is, right?
Yes, it's going to be offered on BitShares.
Okay, so they are connecting with BitShares in this way.
Actually have a headline right here.
Sure.
Find more information.
Okay. Does anybody have anything that they'd like to say? I know there are some without things. I can read them off for everybody. The ultimate savage, huh? I've learned what savage means, and it's hilarious. Okay, so with that said, does anybody have anything that they'd like to say about CloudCoin before we move on?
Fuzzy, any chance of getting Crypto Connie on the show?
Yeah, I'm sure that she would come on if everybody asked her.
Might be fun and interesting.
Yeah, what I would tell you guys is always feel free to reach out to people and bring them on if you think that it would be something that we should talk about. That's what these are here for, and at least until I have live streaming, so all of you can do your own BitShares talks, right? So, like, the goal is for people who run their own projects to be able to do it at their time, on their dime. I mean, on their time without having to worry about anything. Like, it's another BitShares talk, and this is the project led by these people. Go have it set up so people can have their own hangouts, their own discussions, and kind of show people that this is, in fact, something that we care about, which is letting everybody have this opportunity and have the tools to be able to do this. So we're going to offer that from the forums. So, but that's why we do these things, in short. Now, with that said, do you have anything, any final things that you'd like to say about it, Jacob, in terms of CloudCoin?
That's about all. Appreciate you having me on, Fuzzy.
Well, thanks for joining up with it. And I know that you're out there actively doing things and meeting people. And when you meet different people who are working in the space, you can leverage those connections and help the community. And I think that's kind of what you're trying to do, trying to alert people to potential opportunities. So,
go ahead. Sorry, it's just I'm just trying to kind of create synergy and kind of just getting awareness of the use cases too of BitShares, what it can offer to anyone that's looking to work with it, kind of thing, integrate it into their goals and their dreams, kind of thing. So,
well, not only that, but it's like, even if somebody dislikes something, you can generally learn something from it. So there's nothing wrong with disliking something and trying to learn from it. And maybe making something better even, or maybe there's synergy in places that creates something that's emergent, that we never saw by itself, so there are potentials there, and I look forward to seeing what happens either way. But I think it would also be a good idea to get him on to ask questions about it.
definitely.
Is this psychology 101, smartass? Okay, anyway, let's go ahead and thank you, Jacob. I'll go ahead and I'll say, is there any way of people getting in contact with you if they want to talk to you about this or any of the other projects you've brought?
Check out my Steam account is steemit.com/@JacobCards.
That sounds good, man. Okay, with that said, is Walrus ready for EasyDex or Patty?
I think I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Looks like I got that figured out.
Sounds good. Okay, so, well, you have some updates from the EasyDex. So let me go ahead and step back. You can step up to the plate and give everybody your update.
Oh, yeah. Biggest update this week is that we started the EasyDex Portfolio Builder Token campaign. And for those that don't know, the Portfolio Builder tokens are, we're mostly using the funds from it to provide liquidity for the assets that we're running bridges and gateways for. And the way it works, we're doing it kind of like an EOS style distribution method, where users send to a pool, and then every day at the set time, we contributions for one day stop and start for the next day, and we tally up the funds and distribute the tokens based on that. And people have started using the USD and Euro bridges now, and they all seem to be working perfectly, so that's good. Our crypto gateways are in testing right now, so those should be up very soon. It's early in the morning, so probably not speaking of everything.
And don't forget the account recovery. It's not a bad thing to remind people every week, in my opinion, given that account recovery has been something that has been needed for quite some time. It's obviously not, it's optional, and it's also something that's stored on their end, but it's stored encrypted by a question and answer that only you will know the answer to. So as long as you're on a secure link and the NSA or somebody else isn't looking at you and breaking all the encryption with backdoors, you should be okay. But it's important to recognize that.
I don't even think, even with a backdoor, that they'd be able to break the encryption, because it's encrypted in the app based on your test question. So they would really need to have the key to the encryption. It's not like a certificate where they'd be able to get at it or anything. So
Nutella says NSA already has your keys, Fuzzy. They probably have all of ours, buddy. But anyway, it's a good point, Walrus. I think that all jokes aside, it's pretty secure. It's something that has been one of the most important things that BitShares has needed for some time now. Imagine somebody losing, 5,000-6,000 BTS, or potentially quite a bit more. It's always nice to have a secure backup, another option in case the worst happens, and this offers that. So that's another important thing that you always hear me telling people about.
it's something we can't stress that enough, because I know I've lost an account because I thought it was a bin file account, and I thought I had my bin file backed up, and for some reason it didn't save properly, and I lost the whole account. It's probably worth about 3,500 USD right now. And when we started whale shares, that was one of the biggest complaints we heard, was how many people lost their password and got locked out of their account.
Yeah, so it makes it a little bit hard for people to want to get back into the DEX whenever somebody has that experience. And obviously the experience that they have will expand into their circles of influence as they tell people of their experience, right? So we want those words that come out of people's mouths to be like, this has been a good experience for us. And we always have to ride that line between the good experience, the best experience, and some form of decentralization of power and checks and balances, which is kind of what crypto is all about. And it really makes it hard to bring those types of things to the masses when, there are just a few people having a bad experience like that. And of course, let's face it, this is for all of crypto. That's a problem generally, right? That's why everybody uses centralized services to the degree that they use them, because it just makes it easier on the user end generally. And those are things that we need to fix over time. But, let's face it, we have to find ways of doing this and bringing mom and pop on. And just basic things like this are not necessarily big UI changes, big changes on anything other than the most foundational thing, which is, do you have your password? Do you control your password? Will you be able to have access to your password when you want to have access to it? If you do, So these are some pretty basic questions, but foundational ones nonetheless. Out of curiosity, you're doing pretty well, it looks like, on on the crowd donation drive?
Yeah, so far the first 4 days we brought in over 13,000 BitShares through that. And all I wanted to say for people that were interested, if you wanted to join the token campaign, you just send BTS to the BitShares account, EasyDex pool. That's EasyDex/pool. And every day at 5 o'clock p.m. UTC, the 1 day's token contributions in, and the next day starts. And I remember another thing that I really wanted to bring up is that we're going to be having EasyDex Hangouts on Fridays at, let me see, it's 4 o'clock Eastern time in the US. I think it's either 8 or 9 UTC PM. So that'll be in the EasyDex Discord room.
I've got two 100s on. Well, Taco's asking what day, and I would say you just said Friday, right?
Yes, Fridays in EasyDex Discord at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So I think that's either 8 or 9 UTC, 8 or 9 p.m. UTC. You gotta keep remembering to say those PMs, because when I wrote the post for the token campaign, I put 5 o'clock UTC, and I guess there was a little bit of confusion because it meant 5 o'clock PM or 1700 UTC. Some people thought it was 5 UTC.
Well, why don't we go ahead, if you can, maybe you can discuss a little bit more in detail how the ICO works.
You know who that is, baby. Another question, can you explain the EasyDex pool if you haven't already? Is there a web view for the distribution? On the web view, that's one of the reasons why we did it on BitShares. You don't need any, didn't have to make anything special to see that. We probably will at some point. But you can just look up the account, EasyDex-pool on CryptoFresh or on the Block Explorer. And you'll be able to see how much is in the pool for that day already, and how many tokens have been distributed. And every day, so what we do is every day at 5 p.m. UTC, I'll send the tokens for the next day to the EasyDex pool account, and that ends the previous day's pool contributions and starts the next. And then we tally up, we take how many of the BitShares we got that day, and we divide the number of tokens by the amount of BitShares we got that day to get that number, and then multiply that number by each user's contribution to determine how many tokens they get. So did that answer any questions?
I will just say, sounds a lot like an EOS distribution to me.
Yeah,
I'd like to
pretty
say
similar.
that a lot of people are going to use EOS like distribution in the future.
Yeah, it'll be just so much easier than using Ethereum for things like this. I don't see how it will be anything else. But let me really quickly ask you, is there, CM's asking another question. Is there a web view for distribution or just the monitoring EasyDex account for the day's donations?
We haven't put together a web view yet, so you just have to look on Crypto Fresh or the Block Explorer or something to see what's in the account. But we're going to be adding that. We just haven't done it yet.
Okay, and just so in case people don't know, is there a way that you could just really quickly go over how many are going to be in the pool every day and how that changes over time?
Okay, yeah, this first week was there's 2 more days of it. Well, 2.5 more days of it. There's 500 tokens per day, and then in 2.5 days we'll be doubling that to 1,000. The next week it'll be 1,500, and then the week after that will be 2,000, and then we're just going to stay at 2,000 until all 900,000 tokens have been distributed. And we worked it out, and there will be an extra 1,000 in there. So the extra 1,000 we're going to do on the last day of the token campaign. There will be 3,000 in it.
So it graduates by 500 per week until 2,000 at a cap, and then the end of the cycle, it will be the last final week will be 3,000 per day available.
Yes. Nutella had a question. Did I explain the fiat on ramp?
Sure.
I think I did, but I can go through it.
Oh, it's okay. If you did, I will look at it. But the thing is that the quality of your connection is not so good, and it's hard to understand. And I just disregarded EasyDex in the beginning, and like Ken Code said, Kimchi King wrote about it with a great review, and I thought like, hey, that's great because I have used TransferWise for me as well. And I just want to know how the EasyDex.us how it really works, because to get fiat directly out of BitShares would be really, really cool, and of course the other way around too. So, if you already talked about it, I will look it up and I will learn like offline or something.
Yeah. The way it works is right now all we have is bank deposits or bank wires for deposits and withdrawals. We're working on some other stuff, but right now that's all we have. And so you just if you go to the EasyDex, if you go to the deposit withdraw page, click fiat, then there's different accounts for the USD and the euro. So you select which one you want, and it has all the bank details that you'll need there. And on transfer, like we said in the memo, and it's also a note or something, but in TransferWise, I guess it says reference. You just put your BTX name in there, and so we'll know who to send it to. And when we get it, we issue you the EasyDex US or EasyDex EU tokens. And then what we're doing is we're just making sure there's liquidity in the markets. We're taking the tokens from the token campaign and taking the BitShares from the token campaign and matching them. So buying up the EasyDex US or EU that people deposit to make sure that there's liquidity in the markets.
Can you give us a sense of how many people are using the deposit and withdrawal of fiat?
It just started. So far, we've had 3 deposits, 1 in the USD and 2 in the euros. But I expect it to get a lot more. Now that people know it works, then I think a lot more people will use it.
For withdrawal, can you hear me, guys?
Yes, we can.
Okay, for withdrawal, this moment is like over 40-50 applications for verifying. we try to proceed them maximal fast, and because it's not many of our assets anyway in circulation, uh, we still have not withdrawal completed.
So what is the ETA on that? Or estimated time of arrival? Sorry.
Estimated time of arrival of deposits or of withdrawal?
Withdrawal.
Cannot say because we haven't issued any withdrawal at this moment. So at the moment we have the first one and we talk with the person who did it. Maybe we'll make a review how fast it was proceed. But the deposit seems are pretty quick, under a day.
So there has somebody who has withdrawn though at this point?
No, this is the thing. Kimchi, if I say correct the name,
I see.
was the first guy who deposited, but he didn't even try to withdraw. He wanted to exchange for BTS. So, and probably maybe he didn't want to complete the verify procedure or so, because verify is need for any withdrawal. If anyone wants to withdraw any money, he'll have to complete the procedure and agree with our money laundering policy and all these things.
So you can protect from terrorists.
Yeah, at least we have the to stay on the legal side of the things, which is very important in this area, and we don't want to cause any troubles with banks, governments, or anything like this.
So basically you're saying you don't want masked men with guns coming into your house.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Now, with that said, does anybody else have any other further questions? Do you guys have any updates that you feel like we should also know about that maybe have been missed, or you guys think that we're good to go on?
I don't know if we mention that we plan some synergy with Smoke token. So if anyone is
Sure.
interested.
Yeah, I mean, would you guys like to say something about it, or do you want me to say something about it?
I don't mind if you say something about it.
Well, we have talked about it in past Hangouts, but I'll definitely bring it up again that Smoke is going to be trading on the Easy Dex, and there's going to be partnerships with between Smoke and Easy Dex. So there's some cool things that are coming on that front too. And just to let everybody know, as kind of a quick cross promotion, Smoke did their pre-sale, which just was really for a very small amount of money compared to the ICO that they what they were asking for in the ICO, and they ran it on BitShares. They knew at the time, I know that they knew that that Ethereum was a better place to make money directly off it, but they so much believe in BitShares that they said they were going to use BitShares. And that's what they've been doing this entire time. They've been working with BitShares. And that's, I just want to say that Smoke is run by some people who are very qualified, it seems. Very good people. And it's a good partnership. It's a good partner. So at least from what I've seen nothing to ever concern me with him. And he busts his butt. And I know that he used all of the funding he got to make sure everything was done well on his chain. So with that said, if anybody has anything that they would like to bring up regarding this, yes, I did can code. So you guys can all benefit the cannabis industry, which is actually the secret weapon that a lot of our founding fathers thought would make America the strongest country in the nation, in the world, was the cannabis, not even the flower, because it can be used for so many things, right? Yep. Hemp, JT Streetman. We won't even go into the fact that most people wore hemp-based clothes, but yeah, there's a lot that has been kind of held back from people, and that network is a pretty solid idea, and it's also kind of, it hits my activist bone. So chalk that up to trying to help in some little way a movement of people who are probably some of the least violent human beings I've ever met in my life. And, we can go from there. But with that said, we do have Samist, who was going to join up and talk about the EasyDex or AirHawk on AirHawk Exchange. So Samist, are you able to step up and say something?
Yeah, good day, everyone.
Hey, man.
Good day, Fizu. I appreciate your this honor that you have been given to us at this moment, and I'll be a little bit try to explain what the exchange is all about, and then I'll now go into what really brought me here at this moment. And I know there are many that already have the understanding of what AirHawk is all about, but I will try to bring it to the notice of people that are just hearing it for the first time. We actually have an account on Steemit whereby we try to assist the particularly the Nigerians, and also make sure that they are not left behind in whatever they are doing, and try to guide them through the crypto world generally. And that's what give back to AirHawk Exchange, because we noticed that the users, especially the Nigerians, as they are blogging, they are earning Steam, and also they are earning SBD, but there are no way for them to actually exchange it for their local currency, and that was what brought AirHawk Exchange into being. And we started it on the Telegram, and we sell and buy on Telegram, and we discovered that we need to make it professional, and we come up with a platform whereby we can exchange the Steemit, and I mean the STEM, and also the SBD to Naira, so that it will ease the users to see the value of what they are doing on the platform. So let me see if I can lay my hand on the link so that I can drop it there for us to see. Now the brain behind all this is to make everything easy for the users, and I have my team that have been working together to make sure that we come out and also assist people, the users, to not enter into the hands of scammers, and that was the reason why we try to relate with crypto gurus so that they can guide us through and also assist us in some areas. And the next how will I put it now? The next phase that I'm looking up to is the evolution of EasyDesk that was just introduced, and I want to take the advantage and also to use it to assist the people, the users in Nigeria generally, and also Africa as a whole. And I want to bring in BitShares into the exchange, and my EasyDesk is going to be using as a bridge to assist us bringing up with AirHawk asset on the platform, so that it will.
You just cut out.
Because I see that people in Nigerians are really they are hardworking, but at the same time they really need help. And the heart I have looking at the experience I've gained from Fizul and Wuru and BitShares community, I'm looking at it as an avenue that can be of assistance to the whole entire uh, Africa as a whole. So the brain behind AirHawk token, I will not call it a token, I'll call it an asset on EasyDesk via BitShares. It's just an idea, really, it's just an idea. I just think about it with my team, and I'm still building up, but I need assistance of uh, I need assistance from Fizul and the rest of BitShares community to guide us through and making this as an achievement for us and make it come into being, so that we'll know that we actually have the plan of serverless to the whole entire nation. So that's my overview of all I am trying to bring into being, and I will try to drop the link to the exchange. We have the link to the exchange so that you can have a look at um, what the exchange look like. And I'm coming. There's a minute.
Yeah, I think they're going to be using EasyDex for their token. Go ahead. Sorry.
So this is the site for the exchange, and so that it will ease the users, we'll try to come up with the video of how the process can be done on the platform. And I come up with a video on DTube sometimes in February, so I will drop it again so that we can have a look at the video.
JT Streetman says, I need an explain it like I'm 5 and videos. So I think that that's something that is actually a very good idea. But I will say that it seems when you go to the exchange, it's primarily for trading Steam and Steam-backed dollars, right? And then you'll have your own token that will actually be on BitShares, though, correct?
Yeah, you know, I just like what I said earlier. I said it's just an ideal. I'm trying to find a run about it, and I just need the whole community, BitShare community, and in cooperation with EasyDesk to come up with an assistance for us and just help us to ease the trading and also the exchange between the Nigerians, because I know very well that there are many of them that they really want to do some investment, but because they don't have the real details and understanding, that I will be standing in as like a help also to assist in that area, and the will I've been doing anyway on Steam. So that's what I want to bring BitShares. I've been in BitShares for a couple of months now, and I have some little knowledge about the platform. So I'm trying to see how I can incorporate it, bridge it, and just make it more professional, so to speak, to the people that are using it already. So that's my idea anyway.
Do you have any thoughts about adding new Maz chains when they come out?
Come again, please.
Wade Society chains, which is actually what Steam is based off of, right? So I guess my question was, would you have any interest in adding them if they have their own internal market? Like, let's say they're like Golos. Would you add Golos?
Yeah, or maybe smoke, or sort of.
Or smoke? They don't have an internal exchange, but maybe, yeah. Or whale shares, of course. Though I don't know if that's going to work exactly the way.
Samist, did you understand the question?
Yeah, I'm with you. You said, can we have world shares? What? I didn't get that question clearly.
Okay, he is actually asking if you are planning to expand and not only have Steam and Steam back dollars. That do you plan to add other currencies like Golos, Smoke, or anything else? Where shares what comes on the market?
Oh yes, that's the plan, because we are even working on how we can upgrade this the platform to B 2.0, and there was a time I'm trying to see how we can incorporate bring in Ethereum into the platform, and we want to really expand and make it something that can actually look more professional, bring in different gateway token into the exchange. I just need different ideas that can help in achieving this. So that's the reason why I bring it to the Hangout today.
Well, it's cool that you've built this. It's always cool to see that people are building things, and I think we're getting to the point where you're starting to see more and more people wanting to work with the BitShares technology and what the platform offers. And I'm glad to see that you are partnering up with EasyDex and kind of working with them to bring in some extra potential for what you're doing. I see synergies all around. It's pretty interesting to see that as we move forward, these kinds of things are going to start happening more and more. And maybe even what's even crazier is we don't even know necessarily all the stuff that's going on in languages on the DEX that we don't speak, which let's face it, for a lot of us, we don't know the majority of languages out there. So it's quite interesting to see that we're moving forward. We have people from all around the world doing valuable things and leveraging BitShares how it was meant to be leveraged. So get ready for an explosion of all of these types of things. And thank you very much, Samus. Is there anything else that you'd like to say before we close up on your section?
Well, I don't have more to say, but you permit me to drop our Discord channel, Discord server link on the Bitcoin, Beyond It channel. Don't know if if the permission is given, so that when we have people of like mind and we are in this community, they can assist us in some areas. In case if we are having maybe discussion and we are going off the line, they can try to assist us and also put us through. So if I know Pat is already on the on the server, and she has been doing a very great thing. She was on the Hangout for some time and tried to explain what EasyDesk is all about. Looking at the way we can maybe drop the Discord channel, link, so that people also can see what we do on the on our server also. So I don't know if the permission is going to be granted.
Well, those things take some time to figure out, right?
All right, thank you, Pat. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you, Papis.
Of course, Samus. And thank you for everything you do, man. I know that you're a very busy man and you're an active person in the community, and I always see you doing things. So just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Fizu. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Keep doing the good work, and I love your heart. I will need to collect that clean that Korea food from you so that it will satisfy my hunger.
Collect data. You collect that data, buddy. You data
Yeah.
muncher. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll be expecting the Korea food from you. So thank you, Fizu. Thank you, Fizu. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys too. Okay, so just real quick, we have Talkinator, who he generally likes to bring some pretty interesting topics for us to discuss, and he even gives a suggested duration in his posts. So how sweet is that? So Talkinator, do you have the time available for the suggested durations altogether for your posts for this?
Yeah, definitely, and I can keep it short.
Well, actually, we've expanded them to be up to 90 minutes, so you're more than fine to go along. But it doesn't seem like you have too much.
No, that's right.
Here. So go ahead.
Okay. If there's no preference of order, I'm just going to go through them as I have them listed here. There was a new witness proposal for anyone who's interested. The person goes by the name of Bangzi, 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 perhaps that's the way it's pronounced. The person is proposing to, has been participating with the BitShares community, and thanks. Steam Power here has, Pix has a description of the highlights of his proposal, and one of the points that he's bringing up is he's emphasizing a stable witness node with price feeds. He's going to be providing an API node in Germany, and is also assisting with translations of various English language reports into Mandarin, and is also soliciting support. And you can find more information about it, and you can review the proposal if you'd like.
And Bangzi didn't he work on the one of the bots? I'm wanting to say it's DexBot, but I'm not positive.
I just don't know.
Okay. Well, with that said, feel free. Does anybody have anything they'd like to say about this? Give some information they may have, or do we? Okay, sounds like we move on, Taco.
Okay. The next brief topic that I wanted to bring up is that the blockchain team is now offering a Bitcoin gateway for BitShares, and that's available on their post. They have some quick video tutorials about how you might be able to use it, either for depositing or withdrawing BTC into the system. And of course, then this becomes an IOU token that is backed by the blockchain team. So that's just a new gateway provider for Bitcoins.
And of course, using the BitShares DEX.
Yes, of course. And then the last topic was it's actually now slightly old because actually the state of the network report actually highlighted a slightly newer version of the BitShares wallet that was released by the GUI team. But my particular post was referring to the prior release, which was a few days earlier. And these are just highlighting new features within the BitShares reference wallet. The particular one that I was highlighting was emphasizing some features about the market picker within the wallet, and also enabling a new gateway by GDEX, and various other features and improvements to the wallet. And there are also must be some newer ones of the most recent release that I missed. So if anybody's interested, I'd encourage you to go check them out. And that wraps up the topics I wanted to bring up. Thanks for the time.
Well, dang. that seems like it went pretty smoothly and pretty well. I'm glad to see that there's more features being added to the wallet, and also changing some things, and always seeing that things are being fixed and made a little bit more polished over time. And more, this is happening by by multiple people. So that's great to see. And seeing all the people who are coming in to leverage all those resources and tools that are available to them to even do things like what EasyDex is doing and creating their own exchange, or AirHawk exchange, how they're leveraging BitShares because of the tools that we have available. And as I think we're starting to move forward into the world, quote unquote, beyond Bitcoin, with scalable blockchains, I think BitShares is in one of those perfect places, as one of the places to trade those tokens and to be able to offer the things that aren't really offered anywhere else in crypto, at least at this point. So with that said, everybody, thank you for joining up this week. I'm going to have to leave early today, so we won't have, I will not be attending the after party, because I have another call. But I do want to say thank you to everybody who makes these possible. Thank you for everybody who shares our content, who lets everybody know what we're doing. And I know a lot of you, reach out to me and tell me about different people in the space, and I appreciate that. But I also want to let you know, feel free to have those people sign up on RSVP to these Hangouts, because eventually what I'm going to get moving toward is making it so they can have their own Hangout to talk about their own projects, and decentralize myself away from it a little bit and move perhaps more to a consulting role or whatever. So with that said, thank you everybody who's made this possible and who's supported me along this long road. We are decentralizing things and we're working toward it. And I look forward to the day when this is the communities as I promised. I will need help from all of you guys to do that. But I look forward to working with all of you toward it. And I thank you once again for everybody who supports what we do and makes it possible. And with that said, thank you guys very much.